So, I was wrong about Elden Ring. I've played all the Souls titles as well as their cousins in Bloodborne and Sekiro, and I've got a lot of respect for what From Software has done for video games as a whole thanks to these titles. Their approach to gameplay, their game difficulty and storytelling. From Software games normally set a high bar when it comes to enjoyable yet challenging experiences. But I must confess that after Dark Souls 3, I was a little bit burned out on From Software games. While at the time, I thought I enjoyed Dark Souls 3 on its release, in fact, as time went on, I realised I didn't enjoy the title. This left a sour taste in my mouth towards future From Software titles as well. On top of this, there is Bloodborne, which for me is in one of my top games of all time list. And this gave me the perception that no other From Software title can live up to Bloodborne. All of these factors resulted in a, well, tarnished viewpoint in the lead up towards Elden Ring. While I watched a few trailers and occasionally kept up to date with news regarding the development of Elden Ring, I was not hyped or excited about the game. Other aspects that were shown off about the game also put me off. The fact that it appeared to be another sword and sorcery setting akin to Dark Souls or Demon Souls was another point of conjecture for me. That kind of setting is a little bit overdone and oversaturated at the moment, so I wasn't excited about it. Plus my PTSD and aversion to Dark Souls 3 also fed into my doubts about Elden Ring in that department. I was of the opinion of, oh god, it's Dark Souls with a different coat of paint. On top of that, the inclusion of George R.R. Martin was a concern. Whilst I believe he can write interesting worlds, I am not on the whole a fan of his writing. So this was another turn off towards Elden Ring, which all resulted in the game barely being a blip on my hype radar. Eventually though, the release date rolled around, and I did pick up the game on launch, but there it sat, unplayed for about a week after its launch. I had very mixed feelings towards it. I've watched a few other content creators playing it, and from an onlooker perspective, to me it looked like an open world Dark Souls game, with of course that new coat of paint that I mentioned. Whilst the gameplay and combat seemed to be in keeping with other From Software titles, the open world in this day of modern gaming is not always a good thing, as other open world titles are littered with meaningless side content. Ultimately, I've been very jaded with a lot of games out there of late. I don't get as excited as I used to, which, like I've mentioned, probably influenced my interest in Elden Ring and what experiences it could give players. But I decided to stop being so negative and try Elden Ring for myself. I streamed my first time playing the game, making a drinking game out of it. A shot for each death. Things went very smoothly at first. I wasn't having much difficulty when it came to the game until I got to Margit. One empty bottle of rum later, the boss was dead and I was wrapping up my first stream. I was very unsure how I felt about Elden Ring at the time, if I was honest. Did I enjoy it? Maybe it wasn't as bad or overhyped as I thought it was. But the following day, hungover, all I wanted to do was get back on the game. That does not happen often and only really occurs to me when I'm really enjoying a title. Did this mean I actually liked Elden Ring? Were all of my concerns and previous experiences tainting my opinion and view of the game? It seems so. And so I continued playing it, enjoying it more and more. I realised I was wrong about Elden Ring. It is a great game. Whilst I still have concerns over certain aspects of the game, and I don't think everything about it is absolutely flawless, I do believe that it's one of the best From Software titles out there. If not the best, maybe only surpassed by Bloodborne, but that is down to personal reasons. I adore the gameplay most of all. For me, it's the absolute best aspect of Elden Ring, and is what keeps me coming back for more. The combat, the bosses, weapons, builds, Elden Ring has taken all aspects from the other From Software titles and merged them into something that is a complete package. This allows for multiple ways to play the game, which for me is a huge bonus. The difficulty of the game is also, at least for me, fine. From Software games seem to always get a mixed reputation thanks to their difficulty, but I've always felt that this is because players are looking at the games at face value and not adapting to what the game is trying to teach you. There are always ways to make From Software games easier, which is a whole other topic I could get into. But for the most part, I enjoyed the challenge that Elden Ring had brought to the table. Obviously, if you're looking to just kick back and relax with a game, then maybe Elden Ring, or in fact any From Software game, may not be the best choice, as they are challenge games, and overcoming that said challenge is an integral part of the experiences they provide. The open world, whilst I don't think is the game's biggest selling point, is still a joy to traverse. There are lots of interesting areas to explore, and there are very few restrictions to where you can go. There are also next to no meaningless quests, no collect X amount of items, no go here and kill X amount of enemies like you would find in other open world titles. It feels like we've been just given this world and to go nuts, have fun. The addition of Torrent, our spectral mount, also makes exploring entertaining, allowing us to travel fast, give us another form of combat, and reach areas we wouldn't normally be able to reach thanks to Torrent's size as well as his double jump. I was really surprised actually how fun it was riding Torrent. The presentation of Elden Ring is also fantastic, at least when it's running right. I won't deny that there have been some performance issues, especially for PC users out there, but for the most part Elden Ring looks gorgeous. Maybe only passed slightly by the remake of Demon's Souls in terms of graphics, but at the same time, that could be subjective to environments, characters, so on and so forth. I thought the Elden Ring's world was going to be bland and dull, but to be honest, it kind of encompasses elements from all the other From Software titles, including Bloodborne, to which makes almost each area of Elden Ring's world unique in its own right. On top of that, a personal joy of mine was seeing all the Berserk references in the world, which is a personal win in my point of view. The final aspect of Elden Ring is the story, which for me is the one area that did not grab me, or should I say has not grabbed me. When it comes to From Software games, their titles are not told in a traditional manner. The stories of these games are told through the environment, through the mise-en-scènes, through random encounters with NPCs and so on, which means that you can miss major aspects of the story. This for me is both good and bad. It encourages exploration, but at the same time it means that you could potentially miss major plot points. And whilst I haven't experienced every single ending of Elden Ring, as I believe there are 6 of them in the game, at the end of the day I am ultimately not invested in the story. But then again, I am not playing Elden Ring for its story. I'm mainly playing it for its awesome gameplay, boss fights and combat. And that being said, for me this is only a slight negative aspect, because at the end of the day, stories are subjective. I do enjoy the world they have brought to life and its lore, which is a compliment to the story, but the tale of the Tarnished we play as hasn't grabbed me, unfortunately. Regardless, like the title of this video states, I was wrong about Elden Ring. I had so many doubts and preconceived notions about the game, to the point I almost didn't play it. But I'm glad I swallowed my pride, opened my mind and gave it a chance, to which I found a fun title I can recommend to anyone who's up to the challenge. It is one of the best From Software games out there and I cannot wait to get back to playing it. But what are your thoughts about Elden Ring? Are you enjoying the title? Do you think it's overrated? Does it live up to your expectations? Please leave a comment down below. And until next time, I've been Darcblade.